Okay, hi guys. I think I'm live now. We are trying a new setup. I'm streaming from my home. So let me know if the audio is good, the video is good, if everything is looking okay. Then we can start today's session. Uh, okay. Vivek Kumar is saying hi. Hi Vivek. Hi PK. So basically, it is today's session is just because the notification for CAT has come out over the weekend. So I wanted to just touch base with you, try to say if you're facing an issue or if you have any doubts, anything and everything that you want to talk about CAT, you can ask me now. I'll just holding this to have an interaction with students. Okay. Hi Vaibhav. Hi Vivek. Please do like the stream, guys. We have a lot of people who are watching the stream live. I want to get to at least say 100 likes before the stream ends. We are also doing this at a slightly later time than usual. Normally, I used to stream at around 8 p.m., but now I wanted to start doing it at slightly later, maybe at around 9:30 or so. So that is what we are looking at. Profile talk कर सकते हैं क्या? Vaibhav Shukla, you can ask me anything. That should be okay. Vineet Sehgal is saying, okay, I graduated in the year 2023. Okay. Hi, sir. Hi, Krishna. How to get 15 to 20 marks in verbal? Poonam Patel is asking that question. I think that's a very important question. If you're looking to score 15 to 20 marks, what I would, in general, if you're looking to improve in verbal, what I would tell you is simple. I want you to try to improve in reading comprehension. Reading comprehension, I think, is like the fountainhead for verbal. So if you improve in reading comprehension, you will improve in all the other aspects of verbal also, like para jumbles, para completion, all of them. So focus on improving in reading comprehension. For that, I would want you to read as many books as you can. Try to read news articles regularly. Try to find out the sources for the reading comprehensions that were asked in the last few years in CAT, and try to make it a habit that you read from those sources regularly. That I think is a way in which you can improve in verbal overall. And don't try to set any upper limit for your score. Don't try to say that I want to score 15 marks in verbal. Try to score as much as you can. Try to improve. If you improve your proficiency, if you improve yourself in verbal, the score will automatically follow. So believe in that process. Try to read 3 to 4 articles every single day. Try to solve 1 or 2 articles every day, and try to analyze where you're going wrong. I think that way you will improve. Good evening, sir. Okay, good evening, Kushal. How are you? Okay, somebody Saha is asking, hi, sir. See, anybody who has any profile evaluating requirements, please go to the Cracku CAT percentile predictor tool. It's a fairly accurate tool where you can enter your profile details. You can enter how much you scored in your 10th, 12th undergraduation, and you can click on the percentile needed. You will actually get a pretty accurate percentile that is needed to get calls from many of the IIMs. So use that. Sri Mukesh is saying, hi sir, can I crack Purple just by practicing a lot of arches? I think that is a good way to improve. But like I mentioned earlier, if you're working hard on improving in arches, you'll also improve in the verbal part. Automatically, you're going to improve. The reason for that, I feel, is if you are reading a lot of articles, then you will understand a passage better. The way it is phrased, you will understand it better. You will have a few paragraphs in every good article. So you'll also understand what is the way in which a passage is constructed, what are the ideas of each paragraph. So your comprehension improves. You'll also get a good handle on how to you'll also get a good handle on how good paragraphs are constructed. So with that in mind, you'll also be improving in say parajumbles, because you will figure out what is the first line in a paragraph. You'll understand how two lines are actually combined together. So you'll understand your reading skills improve. So many of the other aspects of verbal ability also improve. So don't focus on improving in arches, but don't be limited by just arches. If you're improving in arches, know that you'll also improve in the other aspects. So if you're practicing arches, put in a lot of effort in improving in arches, but also practice some of the other verbal questions, because you'll see improvement. And if you don't focus on them, you're just losing out on some easy marks. My mock scores are not increasing. Chanukya Chanu is saying, are they decreasing? Okay, quants in daily targets I'm able to solve 5 or 4 out of 5 every time, but in mocks I'm not able to solve. I think mostly it is also possible that in mocks, because quant come at the end, maybe you are losing your stamina. Maybe you are getting tired by the time mocks actually come, quant section actually comes. So that might be one of the reasons. Don't worry about it. Just take more and more sectionals. Daily targets are basically something that I want you to take to inculcate that habit of solving every single day. But daily targets are not the be all and end all. Sectionals, I think, will be the next step, and after sectionals, you can start taking mocks. Hi, sir. As is evident from IMC, will be conducting CAT 2024. What can we say about the overall difficulty of CAT? I don't think we can say anything about it. What I believe in is that I might be wrong, but my feeling is that the quant section of CAT 2024 will actually be slightly easier than CAT 2023. The reason for that is that CAT 2023 quant was very, very difficult. It actually caught a lot of students unawares, which resulted in a lot of havoc in even the final like selections. Normally, because if the criteria that is given, the percentages and the percentiles, even the academic diversity, gender diversity, all of these scores are given with a particular trend in mind. They want the normal curve, so to say, to look in a particular way. They want everybody to score somewhere along a normal curve, where some people score around the mean, some people score higher, some people score lower. So that is what they base their entire like profile evaluation. That is the reason they give some academic diversity score or gender diversity scores to people. But if everybody scores poorly, then the percentage of marks given for gender diversity and academic diversity become very important and very crucial, which has actually happened this year. I think one of the reasons you hear these stories of say I am Rohtak or I am I think Sambalpur having a lot of female candidates is because the CAT scores this time were much lesser than what is anticipated, because of which I think the gender diversity marks or the academic diversity marks became much more crucial than they normally would have been. So they are definitely going to correct it this year. So that is one of the reasons I feel the paper itself might be easier than last year. Sir, I've just started. Sir, I'm currently working in a startup. I have a salary slip joining later and all, but I don't have PF ITR as salaries between 15 to 18K per month. Will it be counted in job experience? I think it will be counted. What you'll be asked is an offer letter at the time of joining. You will be asked to submit pay slips during your interview process and all. But if you have both of them, I think that should be sufficient. But again, you should definitely check with somebody in charge. Maybe you can contact the IM CAT guys. But it should not really matter. Normally, if you have a good job, a normal job, then it should not be an issue. Nobody is going to say anything to you. Okay. Hi, sir. I completed my BTech in 2022. I have not done a job since it. Will it affect my profile? I think it will definitely affect your profile. Unfortunately, if you're having too much of a gap, it is not going to reflect well on your profile. Having said that, don't worry too much about it. Try to do what is in your hands. What is in your hands is basically trying to find a job. So find a job and focus on doing well in CAT. So you have to start somewhere. Don't worry that okay, I have 2 years of gap years. It is going to reflect poorly on my profile. What are you going to do about it? The only thing you can actually do is work for 1 or 2 years. Because if you directly attend the interviews right now, it will look like you have a very big gap year. But say you work for 2 years and then you attend interviews, then the gap year will become history. Then nobody is going to care too much about it. You might get 1 or 2 odd questions here and there, but that will be in the past. So try to do that. Try to find a job and try to work on it. Hello, sir. Good evening. Okay. Hello, sir. Good evening. Can you please review my profile? 977 lawyer, 2 year MNC work ex. I think your profile is good. You have a good 10 score. You're a non-engineer. That is good. Lawyer also is a unique diversity profile, which might get the interview panel interested. So that those are the things that I think are good for you. Your 12 score of 7, I don't think is ideal. Your graduate score of 7, I think is decent. So try to score about 98. I think you'll get a lot of shortlists. Somebody is saying, sir, if I start from scratch from now on, can I get 99 percentile if I give 12 to 13 hours daily, or should I drop a year? See, don't think of dropping a year, man. If you're thinking of dropping a year right now, I think that is a very bad mindset to have, because you are essentially accepting defeat. What I would tell you is, even if you are thinking of putting in 12 to 13 hours every single day, realistically, you won't be able to put in 12 to 13 hours every day, because your mind cannot be so active for 12 to 13 hours every day. So don't focus on it. Try to maybe have, say, 5 to 6 hours of good mental effort. If you're having 5 to 6 hours of good mental effort, I think that is sufficient. Again, I can't promise that you'll get 90 percentile or anything. What I can tell you is, if you're putting in 5 to 6 hours dedicated effort for the remaining remaining maybe around 4 months, you will definitely improve significantly. That much I can tell you. So focus on putting in 5 to 6 hours of active effort good mental effort with a lot of concentration. That I think is the best that you can do with the limited time that is remaining. Guys, we have more than 60 people who are watching our stream live. Please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 100 likes before the stream ends. Sir, is it okay to focus only on the LR part as I'm weaker in DA? Again, these are questions that I don't want to answer. The reason for that is because it again seems like you are kind of giving up. Don't give up on DI, because especially in LRDI, every set is important. You don't really know which topic there will be an easy set, which topic there will be a difficult set. At least in DI, do the basics of DI. That is, you should know how to attempt. You should know how to attempt. How to read graphs. You should know how to read pie charts, bar charts. These are things that I think you should know, so that if there is at least any easy question, you are able to attempt it. So don't give up on DI. At least the basics of DI, I want you to focus on doing them well. Sir, to study room until CAT exam, what my strategy is to practice study room so that I'm able to complete all my tests. I think that is a good strategy. That is not a bad strategy. What I would tell you in addition to it is that in addition to practicing from study room, I also want you to take mocks, take sectionals, take these kind of things, so that you are also practicing according to the timeline of CAT. Because many people, actually, you can see even in this chat, people say that they're doing well in daily targets, but they're not able to do well in quant section in the mocks. One of the reasons is because daily targets has 15 minutes 15 minutes of time limit, but mocks will have 2 hours. So if you get tired after 1 hour, you won't be able to do very well in the mock. So it is important for you to practice mocks and sectionals as well. Let me answer some questions from Instagram. There are a few people who are live on Instagram also. Supernova is saying, sir, any opinions for me? 10th, 80 percentile, 12, 74 percentile, college 6.49, computer science, data startup failed, organized 13 lakh content, and was teacher for 1 year. I think your 10th score is good. Your 12th score is slightly on the lower side. Your graduation score also is slightly on the lower side. It is startup, which is good. Whether it has succeeded or failed doesn't really matter. You're a teacher, that also is good. So your profile, I think, is okay. But I would want you to, if you're a GEM student, I would definitely want you to score above 99.6 or 99.7 to get good shortlist. Harshit Khandelwal is saying, sir, what should be a good strategy for LRDI? I think the starting point for LRDI is very simple. If you are starting out your preparation for LRDI, I would say there are two sources which I want you to really focus on. One is the CAT previous year papers. LRDI, many people have this psychological worry. So to get over it, what I would tell you is focus on solving all the LRDIs from the previous year's papers. For example, if you're looking at CAT 2023, there are 3 slots. Every slot has 4 sets. Second, you can look at CAT 2022. That also has 3 slots. Again, each slot has 4 sets. Continue doing that till at least CAT 2017 or CAT 2018. You can find all of those previous year's papers on our Cracku website. You can download all of those PDFs completely for free. The first thing I would want you to do is immediately after this session is over, go to the Cracku website or just Google search Cracku CAT previous year's papers. Then download all of these PDFs. You can download them completely for free. And the reason I want you to download these PDFs is because then I want you to go open this PDF and start solving one LRDA at a time. Now spend 15 to 20 minutes in answering this LRDA. If you are able to answer it, that's fantastic. Even if you are not able to answer it, spend 15, 20, 30 minutes in trying to answer it. Try to make some progress. Try to make something or the other, make some progress. After that, in the PDF itself, if you have downloaded this PDF from the Cracku website, in the PDF itself, there will be a button to watch the video solution. If you have not solved this LRDA set, but have spent say 30 minutes in trying to answer it and made some progress, then watch the video solution. Then if you look at the video solution, you will understand my way of actually solving it. Then you will remember that method for a long time. That is the crucial aspect, crucial reason as to why I would want you to spend say 30 minutes before you actually look at the video solution. Because if you directly look at the video solution without putting a lot of effort, you will forget my method after a week. It won't register in your. So the effort or the mental effort is important from your standpoint. So spend 30, 40 minutes in trying to answer this set, and after that look at the video solution. Do this for all the previous year's papers. That will help you quite a lot. You can sense the improvement in your LRDI after you do this exercise. The second thing I would recommend students is to take the Cracku daily targets. If you have enrolled to the Cracku daily targets, take those daily targets every single day. Thousands of students take the Cracku daily targets. In Cracku daily target, you get one LRDI set, you get one quant test, and you get one reading comprehension set every single day. And all of this have detailed video solutions. Like every day, the number of Cracku daily targets that are taken is around 8,000. Like I think yesterday, 7,700 daily targets were taken. So you can imagine the number of people who are using those daily targets, and it is a very good resource for you to practice well. If you have just joined, please do like this stream, guys. I want to get to at least, like I mentioned earlier, 100 likes before the stream ends. Sir, any suggestions about 2 year gap students? What I would tell you is very simple. If you have 2 years gap, my recommendation is very simple. Focus not on CAT, focus on getting a job. Because if you get a job and if you work for 2 years, keep taking CAT. But if you then attend the interview, you will have 2 years of work and then you are going to the interview. Then you will be much more confident and even the interview will be, in my opinion, better. If you directly go to the interviews right now with 2 years of gap, I don't think that is a very good position to be in. So if you have 2 years gap, my recommendation is put CAT on the back burner, get a job. Uh, there are a lot of profile reviews. Profile reviews, see, I don't want to do a lot of profile reviews. My recommendation is very simple. Go to the Cracku percentile predictor, input your profile details, you'll get the percentile that is needed to get a call from the top 50 institutes. And it is a fairly accurate percentile predictor. That should be useful. Somebody is asking me to not take CAT this year. No, I'll actually be taking CAT this year. Uh, I mentioned this in a podcast also. Whether I take CAT or not should not impact the scaling at all. I've actually described this in detail. There'll be a lot of people who will still try to have an issue with it, but I will be taking it this year. Uh, Somebody else is saying how to balance preparation. I mean, how much target should we set for each subject daily if we have started preparing now full time preparation? What I would tell you is very simple. You have to have consistent preparation every single day. There are around say 4 months left per CAT. So every day, I would want you to spend say 1.5 hour in each subject. If you, some people have this feeling that they are not able to switch their mind from one topic to the other topic. If that is the case, that is fine. Spend say 4 hours in every single maybe one particular day spend on quant, the next day spend on global, the next day spend on LRDI. That also is fine. But what is important is consistent effort. Every single day, you have to put in say 4 or 5 hours of good, honest effort where you are actually mentally involved. It should not happen that you're just sitting in front of a screen and you're trying to solve it, but you are checking your phone notifications every 5 minutes. That way, you're not putting in the effort. What is important is you put in consistent effort. Maybe you can switch off your phone for a couple of hours. Put in that mental effort. I think you'll see definitely improvement. Uh, Saksham Bhai, I think that I'm consistently scoring 30 to 35 marks in mocks, but if by doing practice daily, I'm not able to increase my scores in mocks. See, you have to split your scores in mocks also across different sections. How much are you scoring in verbal? How much are you scoring in LRD? How much are you scoring in quant? In general, in many of my streams also, I tell you this, that you can predict your scores in quant and verbal much more than in LRD. Quant and LRD, I think quant and verbal, I think are more consistent. If you put in effort, you can definitely see the results, and the scores should not fluctuate quite a lot. LRDI, on the other hand, because there are only 4 sets and anything can happen in those 40 minutes, the scores can fluctuate quite a lot and it is also a little volatile. You can't really base your strategy, your exam taking strategy on your score in LRDI. So focus on improving consistently in LRDA, consistently in verbal and quant. Those are the two things that I would want you to focus on. In verbal, like I mentioned earlier, put a lot of effort on improving in verbal, in RCs. Vikas Ganguri Singh. Good evening, Vikas. Very nice to see you. Yesterday I took Dashcat 1. My DLR was stable, could not even make one set. Can we report winning, sir, as I was able to do one set each time? Like I mentioned just now, verbal LRDI is something that is not in your hands. Sometimes these kind of things happen. So what I would tell you is to maybe take some sectionals, maybe take some LRDI sectionals and try to solve at least one set every single time. That I think is not a bad way in which you can gain confidence in LRDI. Anjali Jain is saying, "Hi sir, daily targets in LRD are quite easy from few days. They're not at that level." I look into it. It is not something that we have planned to do. Maybe some few sets might have come consecutively. Uh, I'll look into. You can see how many people have scored well. If you're scoring well and if you're in the top rank, that I think is good. Manya Barnawal is saying, "Sir, I have failed miserable in CAT 2023. Can I ace that 2025? I have a dream to pursue HR from XLR. I think that is a good dream to have. XLR is a fantastic institute. Uh, Focus right now on improving in what preparing well for CAT because there is at least 1 month gap between CAT and ZAT. CAT comes first, so focus on improving in CAT. If you're putting in effort in CAT, that will definitely reflect in ZAT. Maybe the last 1 month after CAT and before that, you can focus on decision making. But right now, maybe focus on doing well in CAT. Ritik Divakar is saying, "Hello, sir. Every night I feel if I don't crack it. Don't spam, man. Please don't spam. If you spam, I just don't feel like answering. Okay. And I'm depressed. What should I do? Is it even possible to score 90% in 100? See, like even we had a shooter win the bronze medal yesterday, like Manu. She, in her speech, she was saying that somebody asked her, "Do you feel nervous? Did you feel anxious during those shooting like finals?" She said, "See, like Bhagavad Gita says, what is in our hands is to just try to give our best, and everything else is not in our hands." In the same way, I would tell you to focus on what is in your hands. Don't worry about what will happen if you don't get 95%, if you don't do well in CAT. All of these things, I think, just eat up your brain and they waste your mental energy. Focus on what is in your hands. What I think is in your hands is trying to do well in CAT, preparing well for CAT, solving as many questions as you can. Those are things that are in your hands, so focus on doing that. Saini is saying, "Hey, hello sir, I'm working in my father's firm. Will it be considered as work X? I mainly work on Excels and make tables." I think that is fine. Whichever company you're working in, you just need proofs for it. Proofs typically involve pay slips and offer letters. So if you're having those things, they will be counted as work X. Does Cracku have any offline coaching? Cracku does not have any offline coaching. We are completely 100% online. EWS certificate is good or not? What do you mean? I don't know whether what you mean by it. EWS certificate is a certificate that should be good. Akshit Sharma is saying, how much did you score last year? Last year I scored 100, man. I think last 3 years I scored 100. I had to check, but yeah. Sir, play slips for how many months? See, in general, it is good to have pay slips for the last 6 months or so. Kirti Kumar Saripalli is saying, okay, sir, I gave CAT 2023, but did not go well. I graduated in 2022. Now, this time I got into BHU for some course. Now, I don't want to increase my gap year. See, gap year, the problem with gap years is once you start with the gap year, it becomes very, very difficult. That is the reason I actually tell people to not do this gap year thing. Because if you have 1 year gap year, it is difficult for you to even get a job. You also will feel underconfident. You also, even if you're going to a company to interview, they're going to ask you about the gap year. So getting a job after 1.5 years of gap year becomes difficult. After 2 years, it becomes even more difficult. So this is the reason gap year should not be there at least at the start of your career. You should work for at least 2 3 years after you graduate from a college. And after 2 years, if you take a gap year, also it's okay. Because then you will have work X of 2 years, then get a job later also is fine. After a 6 months gap, and then get a job again. So that should not be an issue. But gap year immediately after college, I think is not a good idea. Sir, in dashcats, we are how can you solve ARC without writing anything down? What I normally do is because I read a lot. When I when I read an RC, I try to make a mental image of which paragraph is talking about what. So roughly, I have an idea of each paragraph what it is talking about. But when I look at the question, I always go back to the passage and I try to figure out which paragraph it is being talked about, and I read that paragraph, and then I answer the question. That is how I look at it. Another trick that I do in solving verbal questions is trying to identify the wrong options. That always improves my accuracy in RCs. So basically, in RCs, when you are given four options, in each of the four options, there is some part which is true, and three of the options there will be some part which is wrong. What I'm essentially saying is, if you have A, B, C, D, If say option C is correct, that option will be 100% correct. But it doesn't mean that option A, option B, and option D are 100% wrong. That is not how it is. Option A will basically have a sentence out of which say 50% is correct and say 50% is wrong. Option B has say a sentence out of which 60% is correct, 40% is wrong. Option D has a sentence which has 80% correct but still 20% is wrong. But option C is the only one which is 100% correct. If you're trying to identify which of the four options is correct, you get confused because I'm trying to identify that there is an element of truth in all of the four options. You're not able to figure out what is correct, what is wrong. So what I try to do is identify which of the options are wrong. Then even if I find something which seems like say 30% wrong, if I see that there is an exaggeration, there is an adjective which is exaggerating a particular opinion. Suppose the author was saying that okay, cricket is a good sport, but the problem is cricket is dominating every other sport in the country. So it is actually also hurting the Indian sports ecosystem, something like this. And one of the options is that cricket is a terrible bane for India or something like that. Then you know that this is an exaggeration. Or if somebody in one of the options says that cricket has done wonders to the country, again you know that he's just saying that cricket is good, but there is good and bad. So you have to identify which of the options is wrong. You have to identify whether the option has exaggerated something which has been given in the passage. So once you try to identify what is wrong, then you can remove one of the options quickly. Then you will be left with only two options, and then you can figure out which of the two options is better suited to the question. That is how I would attempt it. A lot of people have asked questions now, guys. Please do like the stream. We have only 50 likes. There are more than 50 people who are watching the stream live. So I want to get to at least 100 likes before the stream ends. Abhiram Mainapati saying, in your experience, have you seen correlation between application between cat slot allotted? I haven't seen that. What I've actually seen is the pin code. Again, I might be wrong completely, but the pin code of the application and the test center, I've seen some correlation that seems to work sometimes. But again, I might be wrong. I don't know it enough. But when you have applied and your cat slot, I haven't seen any correlation. Akshay Sharma is saying, for 100 percentile, what is your mindset? How do you look at all the three sections and what is your 100 percentile strategies? I think I've done a lot of things on my mindset when I'm aiming for 100 percentile, but I'll try to explain it again this time. I'll explain it if I can get to say 70 likes. If I get 70 likes, then I'll explain my mindset for 100 percentile. But before that, let me answer one more question. If we can get to 170 likes before that, I'll attempt to answer this question. So do gap years also affect placements in IIM? Unfortunately, yes, man. It does affect it because placements in IIM are also very, very competitive. If they're competitive, and if there is somebody who has worked in a company for 2 years, and you have say 2 years of gap years, the recruiter is definitely would prefer if everything else is the same, somebody without a gap year. So it is going to affect you. And I feel that if people are freaking out, people with gap years, by how much I uh, discourage gap year, I think it is a good thing. It is not a bad thing. I'm asking you to actually. Okay, somebody has given a super chat, so let me answer it. 90 percentile in 2022 with minimum prep. Can I aim for 99.5 with 6 hours starting now? Okay, good question. I can definitely say that you can definitely aim for 99 plus for sure. What I would tell you is don't put this 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. That I don't think is good. What I think is good is having a strategic plan, a good strategy of completing the entire syllabus as quickly as you can and solving as many questions as you can. The 90% of people and 99% of people is the number of questions that they answer. So focus a lot on solving questions. If you're at 90%, I think you have most of the basics done. What is more important is that you practice more and more and more. So when you're practicing also, I would one more serious suggestion I would give a lot of cat aspirants is if you have a smartphone, sell it off or give it to your parents and buy some old phone, a non-smartphone. You'll save a lot of time, and those few hours that you save every single day will help you quite a lot. Just have a laptop and do your preparation on the laptop. Remove your phone because a lot of hours are wasted on the phone. And with your laptop, try to solve as many questions as you can. The more questions you solve, the better you get. And there are different ways in which you can motivate yourself. You can say that, okay, if I answer 100 questions, then my CAT percentile would improve from, say, 90 percentile to 90.5 percentile. If you answer another 100 questions, it will increase to 91 percentile. That way, keep solving more and more and more questions. Then I think you will improve. Let me see how many likes we got. Then I'll see whether I'll answer that question that somebody asked. We got 67 likes, man. It is already. I'll answer one last question before ending the stream. So, does a paid internship count as work during form filling? Unfortunately, paid internship doesn't count as work. I'm sorry about it. It is actually very clearly mentioned also that you need to actually work properly in a company for it to count. Rohit Kumar is saying, sir, I'm lacking a bit in LRDI and I completed algebra, arithmetic, and geometry. Also, around 150 hours, should I start mocks? And how could I improve? Definitely start mocks. The way to look at mocks is a way in which you can direct your CAT preparation more efficiently. That is how I think you should look at mocks. Mocks are not the be all and end all. Mocks will basically tell you what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. Mocks will tell you what are the areas you have to focus on. That is how I think you have to look at mocks. To start taking mocks, take say one mock every 2 weeks. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If you have liked the stream, please do like the stream and share it with your friends. In addition to it, if you have any queries or any doubts, I know that unfortunately I didn't answer as many questions as you would want to answer, but please do comment below this video. I'll look at all the comments and I'll try to answer them before tomorrow. So any comment that you have, anything that I missed out, there is a lot of chat that people are asking. I couldn't answer all of them, but please do comment below this video. I'll look at all the comments and I'll try to answer them.